Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. I'll try to be very quick. Thank you for asking us, and I'm glad to pass through this brief presentation after my colleague from Airbus and David and Peter. I'm glad to see the presentation before mine because they are very close to each other with the same concepts. So I think we are going in a good direction together. The idea today is to have a brief overview about what was the past, the challenges we are facing now, and the outlooks for the future in terms of safety. So, just a quick overview about our market, where we are in terms of offshore hams and law enforcement and military market. This is important because when we start thinking about safety, we need to also fit ourselves in the real world. And in offshore, as you can see, we see a drop of passenger transportations, but our family fleet in that market was still containing the logged flight hours. And the traffic in terms of passenger transportation, we think will be back in 2022, end of 2022. So this means that we need to be ready to come back to the same volume that we faced before the pandemic crisis. On AMS and search and rescue applications, I would say that we did a good job, especially because at the beginning of the pandemic, everybody was looking at us in Italy. And in that picture, you can see the people and the team that working above their normal duty during the day, those days, try to find out solution with the 3 aircraft delivered to the government, Italian government, and find out a solution to deploy for the emergency. It was very useful, and I'm proud to say that we worked closely with daily basis with the EASA and INAC to find out solution to transfer materials and passengers by using prototypes, transformed these helicopters in a few hours in AMS helicopters and find out solution to that crisis. In terms of law enforcement, the market for us has increased, but we start thinking to have this challenge coming from EASA in terms of safety also for that kind of market. Our customer support and training sections in these 2 years, was able to establish a new training academy in US and changing completely the way to do training in terms of crew licensing and maintainers in online format. And we have also 2 different solutions, like Reliability Data Sharing Group and LE-Link for customers that are deployed with a safety approach in the last 2 years. So when we start to talk about this challenge coming from EASA, I use the same words. The idea is to review our pillars and in terms of way to maintain our portfolio and way to improve our portfolio. But one of the things that we find out very important to us is to work internally in our process. So despite to have a different approach in terms of safety, we wanted to review our internal processes, especially from a design organization perspective. As you can see, we have not negligible numbers of helicopters in terms of service, and we have new aircraft that's coming up, like the new copter, W09 helicopter, and then the 609 that are in development, and also the 249. I'll come back to the 249 later on because it's a good example that we put in place in terms of safety approach. Our challenges. So when we start to talk about safety internally, we took the opportunity to start again this journey, this review by using the European Plan for Aviation Safety. And 2 years ago, we established internally to our division a system governance in terms of safety that are related to 4 different pillars. so design organization, training organization, production, and maintenance organization. And we try to approach this new system safety governance establishment also in the new certification, the new products. And those are the challenge that we have passed through now in this presentation. So the first one is try to get a good and solid results coming from the aviation safety by using our experience in the operational environment. So we start to read across the book issued in 2018 by EASA and try to get these challenges inside to the operational environment. And our analysis of the environment is not frozen, it's fluid, but I would say it's still highlighting that the complexity of the stakeholders and the points that we have to take care, it's huge. So what we try to do is make together a commitment, is an internal commitment authorized by the top managers in terms of what we can do and what are the challenges we are committed to go together. The document has been signed by all the stakeholders internally and deployed to EASA as a promise to do something in concrete. As I said, the SSG, the Safety System Governance, has been established in 2018, and we recently completed the design organization SMS. That was a novelty for us, and we try to empower the training organization, the production, and the maintenance ones. The idea with the local SMS is to have a joint communication, internal communication, try to share the weak points, the inputs that are coming from the outside of the company, from different reasons, for different purpose, and try to collect together a safety solution internally that can be deployed to the customer at the end. So the first approach, and the approach that are more consolidated in Leonardo, is for sure a proactive and preventive safety approach. That means that if you have an event and consequently a report, an investigation to find out root cause and corrective actions, then we have additional solution that can be promoted and deployed to the customers. The SMS indeed want to remove from our approach to the normal duty job day the event. So try not to be proactive, but to be in such a way more prone to analyze ourselves internally. So we establish a lot of safety working group by looking at events that are running inside, and then the events that are not related to something from the service, with some voluntary reporting that are also applicable now in the design organization, that are touching also something that is not robust enough in terms of design, certification, qualification, and so on. And also to have a better look about external inputs that are not specifically related to an event. And all those things are brought out to have a corrective action plan internally to the Leonardo. So it's a new way to perform our job every day, and it's not related to a reaction, but to be more proactive in a long time period. To make some examples, these tables are reporting in our EPAS plan signed by Leonardo. We did something that are not reactive but proactive. So we did a lot of promotional videos. We have a dedicated safety website. We have information documents inside that are has been deployed to the customers, like on hoist, on burst trucks. So there are crash cards related to our helicopter. So we are quite aligned. We didn't speak together directly with Airbus, but we are quite aligned with the same material. also because we are collaborating in, as we said, in the SPNR, in VAST, in several tables to be on the same page on these topics. And we have also introduced a lot of training guides and training webinars worldwide. A little note on webinars. We thought that at the beginning we find out some reluctancy to get webinars on safety, but at the end it was something that was very positive, and now is established like a good way to work with the customers. On technical actions, we certified on the only one that have not crash-worthy fuel system, the little one, the Koala, an STC and FAA, and we are collaborating with the EASA take an input from David to have an STC approved also in EASA, try to get a solution quick in service as much as possible. And so we have a lot of others initiatives that are running, that are closed. And in terms of safety, we try also to put some effort and budget on the research aspects. So we try to work on infrared system monitoring, so try to understand if you can consolidate something in terms of stressing the analysis of the pilots on the crews, to improve the obstacle detection, so for the degraded visual environment, to find out an automatic flight condition recognitions, and to improve also part of maintenance activities like corrosion and fatigue stress metal components, so make a dynamic analysis of the aging of the aircrafts. And this is the last one is most demanding. We need to work with the EASA and the other stakeholders, full damage tolerance analysis for the helicopter gearboxes. All these things are also an opportunity for us to stimulate the EASA in the rulemaking tasks in the community. So we try to empower our presence there. And I would say we are now running with a solid speed in that directions. A tangible effect on this kind of approach is try to put something on our portfolio. And 169, which is our last helicopter certified, we are in the process to close the phase 7, phase 8. So as you can see, we are trying to touch all the lack points or the enhancement performance that we can improve for safety. And we are not forgetting what are the product improvements related to improve the safety and the conducting of a helicopter. As you can see, the 169 is changing a lot, the tailplane, the SAR configuration, the skids, but the idea is to have these things done with a different approach with the past. And we did not forget the family concept, with, as I said, crash-worthy seat, crash-worthy fuel tank, and 139, 199, 189 were not forgetting in terms of certifying safety features. So we are a little bit guilty in the plus 44% that has been recalled by David in terms of major change, because we are filling the pipeline and the major change. Just a touch-based slide on the copter. The last one is the AW09. I know that tomorrow we have a deep dive presentation on this done by our colleagues from Zurich. And just a matter to show you that the new design for the new aircrafts are much more related to not performance only, but something that in that class of category helicopter is tailored for safety approach. So there is no way that we cannot think a crash-worthy composite airframe. The windshield will be burst strike proof. All the technical solution that you can see tomorrow are designed and thought to improve safety in operation and for the passenger. And Copter will be also our platform for what are possible inputs for the future, like the hybridization of the aircraft, or to improve the power by using electrical solutions. Last two elements that I would like to highlight and take the opportunity for today is on 609 and on the new solution that we saw in the previous presentation, so UAV and unmanned helicopter. 609 is our big challenge, but the idea to fly the 609, to certify 609, is, I would say, the best spot now, because everybody's talking about safety, so we have a great opportunity to close this certification by thinking about safety and safety solution for that. We are going to run this helicopter tilt rotor in the next year with the 4 aircrafts ready to complete the shore compliance. But in terms of operation, I appreciate what Peter was saying before. We need to work with the other stakeholders, especially for flight operations, to use this new machine in a different way in a safety environment by thinking about flight rules, flight ops, and crew licensing. It's a game changer, so it's something that for sure will change the way to think aviation, because we crossed the boot in almost 2 hours in the first leg on the transfer in Dubai Air Show. So cross with a tilt rotor, an helicopter, whatever it is, Italy in almost 2 hours is another way to think, to fly. We get on Nero in our UAV a military type certification, so we prefer to complete the product by using a type certificate as a military, and we are keen to show what we did with the EASA in the next future. And we also complete also the unmanned activity for a concept demonstration for the SW4. So those results are saying us that we are doing things in a proper way also from a safety perspective. What is coming in the future? And the future is tomorrow morning, basically. We are promoting a lot of initiatives. Some of those are already mentioned before me, so I don't want to stress you, like a human hazard assessment or the 5 stars. We are fully engaged like Airbus and Bell on this. And for sure, the human hazard assessment has been a new way to approach the design criteria for us. And we start from scratch the 249, so it's a military attack helicopter for us, but we use the human hazard assessment approach that has been promoted by EAS and Heli Offshore to design the requirements and the helicopter together with the maintenance coming from the military squadrons. So this is something that has been an example to joining the community and joining the way to think the same things, also if it's a military market. We are very positive on performance-based navigation, and we are established with INAC in Italy collaboration to disseminate the routes worldwide in Europe and Italy. We think that this, in conjunction with training, in conjunction with the proper avionics suite, is the future for to fly safely, especially with what has been said before. And for the sustainable aviation fuel, we are stimulating each other to get a proper approval to fly with SAF in the future. Just a touch base on this. The continuous airworthiness and the predictive maintenance that we can provide as a solution to stay close to the customer is now facing a new era by using the digitalization opportunity. What we are facing, we are putting a lot of effort on this, is to try to automate as much as possible all the data coming from the service. And this is something that will be tangible in the next future, very, very short future, also for the customer. The investigation, the root cause analysis, and also the possibility to get access to a big data lake coming from the service. It's a step change, and an incredible step change in terms of analyze the continuous airworthiness. So This will be, for us, probably next year, a way to provocate the system, and maybe we can work together with the Airbus and the EASA also, and the Bell on this, because this will be a really new way to perform the activity in terms of continuous airworthiness. Our future. We are quite good in helicopter. We are facing experience on Rotorcraft unmanned air vehicle that you have, and we are facing, not because of pandemic situation, but because of the market, a new era. And I think everybody is excited about this, but it means that we have a differentiation of our portfolio and new input that has to be looked together. So we think that we have a different platform to look at, but we have customer expectations that are more and more demanding together. And there is no way not to take all this opportunity. So we are looking at advanced air mobility, and we are doing our studies on this. We are, as you can see, committed in the fast rotorcraft market. We want to understand if the RUAV is something that can be certified and can be operated safely, but we are thinking also to the smart helicopter. What does it mean? To me, this is one of the most important slides of today, is that the new generation of helicopter, that doesn't mean to have new models, but the new way to think, to certify, to operate the new helicopter has to take the new challenging and new technology solutions that are here on our market. And something of that could be for sure achieved by using enablers. For us, in my personal experience, but I can see that is a common opinion, we cannot thinking about the reduction of a single point of failure without having a round table with the other stakeholders that are the authorities, they are the other OEMs, they are the operators, and this is done because we need to improve safety in this direction. So when we start to think of the helicopter of the future, we have find out a lot of enabling technologies that are on the table and that can be empowered by thinking a new way to design and certify. So we need to tackle, and this is a request from all the stakeholders here, to tackle this opportunity jointly. And we need to have rules, we need to have suppliers, we need to have operators working with us. So in conclusion, in the last 2 years, we find out a different approach in our way to do the things. It's the market, it's changing a lot, and there is a lot of opportunity to find out a new way to design helicopters, to certify, and to support service in operations. But one of the most important things that we have to tackle is that we need to work with all the stakeholders. I'm glad to heard before that everybody in the presentation said today that we cannot work alone, but we need to support each other for the aviation industry, especially from a safety perspective. And we are very committed to do it, and for sure, to us, we learned the lesson that safety is sharing. So it's something that is embedded now in our culture, and we spent 2 years to do this. And I think we are able to enlarge this concept to all the stakeholders here. Okay, thank you.